Fulfillment for the Rippazine issue 3 is underway from the Rippaverse, an indie comics publisher that I certainly have become a fan of, as you can see from my t-shirt with their premier character Isom and my favorite character from the franchise, Yaira, the poster behind me. And now I am so excited because they are going into space, they are going into cosmic realms, and that is no more apparent than the short story Dirty Deeds from Rippazine issue 3. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. All right, so as with my previous Rippaverse reviews, I will read the review I have on my website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where you can go and check out the review if you'd like, but I'm going to read it here for everyone so you get an idea on what it's about, and then I will expound upon it after I'm done reading. The Rippazine is an anthology comic book series from the Rippaverse. The third issue features an original story plus reviews for more upcoming stories. Yaira takes to the skies again, Bloodruth enters a dark castle, Isom prepares for another battle, and years before the events of the ill-advised arc, the Great War of Separation began in Texas. And finally, a ragtag group of spacefarers bite off more than they can chew when they defend a colony from insect-like aliens who are packing some powerful weapons. The previews are a great way to start if you are unfamiliar with the Rippaverse. They set up their comics perfectly and introduce their characters with ease. I was especially excited to see Isom number 3 give a tease since that series is where it all began. They also have a gossip column and an advice column from two of Flores Park's most upstanding citizens who make you an offer that you cannot refuse. That always makes it fun. The two of them have had frequent appearances in the Rippaverse, but always as side characters. I look forward to their announced solo comics. Of course, the standout entry is the short story Dirty Deeds, written by Caro Brown and drawn by Evan Scale. It is a fantastic and fun story that harkens back to the days of 90s science fiction comics. The artwork is top-notch with stunning action sequences, character illustrations, and background work. It was impressive and definitely eye-popping. Brown is a talented writer. She crafts a short but adventurous plot with colorful characters and a fun vibe. I also like her dedication to the story. If you see her on social media, she frequently calls the protagonist her babies. I admire writers who care for their tales this strongly, as that makes the plot more engaging and interesting to read. I honestly cannot wait to read more from Dirty Deeds. And that is honestly how I feel about Dirty Deeds. It was for sure the standout in the comic. I did enjoy the Isom 3 ill-advised conclusion tease. That was a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing how this arc is coming to a close. I think it'll be fantastic. I think it'll be good. But I have to say, Dirty Deeds was where the spotlight was at. Now, previously, I had interviewed Caro Brown about Dirty Deeds. You can go check out that interview. I'll link it in the corner up there. And it was a fantastic conversation. She is very imaginative. She is very smart and definitely has a grasp on crafting good stories. So I highly recommend you check that interview out. So pause this video, go watch that one, and then come back for the Dirty Deeds review. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I truly enjoyed Dirty Deeds. I thought it was fun. Like I said, it had sort of a science fiction, rough and rowdy sort of vibe to it. It was terrific. It was great. My only critique about it is I wish that they had introduced the characters with like maybe some caption bars so we could learn their names that way. Now, they say all the characters' names, so you learn them throughout the story, but I think that just would have been a little helpful. That's my only critique of it. Otherwise, it was a fantastic read with great artwork and illustrations. I could not get enough of it. And I read it so fast, I actually went back and reread it because I wanted to better grasp and like look for maybe things in the images I missed, kind of like a little Easter egg hunt. But that's how much fun it was getting a chance to check it out. Now, I opted for the collector's edition version of the Rippazine issue 3 because it featured the Dirty Deeds crew. so prominently. And as you can see, it's beautiful. I got the foil edition, so you can see in the reflection just how great this looks. I honestly think that you will have a good time with this, especially if you're into sci-fi. Maybe you're not into grounded street level heroes like the Horseman, or polymaths like Kato, or supernatural thrillers like Bloodruth. Maybe you like the spacefaring stuff. Well, then definitely pick up the Rippazine issue 3. That's one thing I really like about the Rippaverse, is there's something for everyone. I tend to like it all, as you can see from behind me. I like every kind of genre that the comic book world has to offer. And that is why I like the Rippaverse so much, is its broad sort of genre blending style of publishing works really great for my taste. If you like anything, you can find something from the Rippaverse, and that especially includes in Rippazine issue 3. Dirty Deeds is fantastic. It was terrific. It was fun. It was thrilling, and it was well drawn. And I cannot wait to see that crew back together for a possible, maybe full one-shot graphic novel, maybe an ongoing series. I would like that very much. So kudos to writer Caro Brown and artist Evan Scale for crafting such an impressive short story. I am begging for more. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast. And consider becoming a channel member. It is a great way to support the things that I do, such as reviews like these or my commentary, whatever it is. Another way you can support me is heading on over to my website, my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where you can sign up at 3 different tiers, or you can read my articles for free. But if you sign up with a paid subscription, you get all kinds of perks. So definitely check those out. You can also pick up my books. I've got 4 out right now and more on the way. I've got Cacophony, A Tale of Faith and Fear, which is a supernatural thriller about angels battling demons. If fairy tales are more your speed, check out the Seven Royals series. It is about a group of your favorite fairy tales who have to defend their lands against a dark army of orcs and vampires and werewolves and dark mages. Book 1 is All Good Things, Book 2 is Breaking the Stars, and Book 3 is on its way. I will not George R.R. Martin the conclusion of this trilogy. Last but definitely not least is Blessed Child. It is a fantasy romance novella that is about an elf princess who becomes pregnant with a human baby. This sends the elven kingdom into chaos, and as you can imagine, they're not too happy that their heir could be a human. Her father, the king of the elves, has to hire a bodyguard, and he chooses a disgraced knight who is on the path of redemption to handle the job. The princess and the knight become unlikely friends as they navigate the turmoil around them. It is about courage under a fire, and it is life affirming. So you can definitely pick this one up, and I think you will enjoy it. If you want to find out more about my books, head on over to studiojakemedia.locals.com, where I have more information as well as my published short stories and poems. Pick up 1 or all 4 of my books at amazon.com. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die.